Hi guys, yeah, living in the Philippines. So we've had our lunch. My wife is gone, and I'm having a rest. I haven't been too good the last few days. Not a cold or anything, just I don't know. Anyway, just lying here. What I do, I can't sleep. So many things going around in my head. And before anybody, sorry for my belly being part of the. I can't do anything about that. Well, I could, but rather take it or you leave it. Right. What was I going to talk about? Something that I've noticed since living here in the Philippines, I've been here 5 years, is because as we know, in the Philippines, everything's done differently. Those of you that live here already know already, and those of you who don't live here or has never been here, it is so. So, something I've noticed is the Filipinos. How do they get all their information of what's been happening, what is happening, and what's going to happen? Maybe you still don't understand. So let me explain. In my town, where I used in the UK, so I was a paper boy, delivery boy. So you have all your national newspapers. So of course, this is before you have the cell phone. So you have all your national newspapers, plus you have the local newspaper from the town. Again, so it explains to you what has happened in the town the last day or two, what's going to happen in the future, and anything that's coming up, and if you need any help, where to look. Well, in this modern day, I think they still do. I haven't been to the UK for a very, very long time. But even in the town where I was in Germany, every day, two local newspapers, not national, local. And the first thing that we used to do in the morning when you get to go to work is you go and get the newspaper because you want to know what's been happening, right? Whether it's sport or anything, news, politics. And then when you get to work, it was always, oh, did you see about that? Yes. Did you see about this? Yes, I did. Oh my God. And then someone would go, yeah, did you see that about that? No, tell me. This is what it's like. I don't know about you guys in America, but that's what it's like in Europe. When you meet somebody first thing in the morning, or you haven't started work yet, or you're in the bus, or in the evening you go to the bar for a couple of pints. Did you see what so and so? That's what I was used to. Um, in Shanghai, so when I was in China, you have also, it's called the Shanghai Daily. Is it called the Shanghai Daily? Or Sunshine? Or Shanghai Shine? Anyway, they have also a daily newspaper, also in English for those in Shanghai. Well, I used to live just on the outskirts of Shanghai in a town called Qingpu. And so they didn't have a newspaper. But what you got, I think there's a fly in front of the camera. Yeah, there you go. Fly trying to get famous. um, you used to get sometimes like leaflets put in your post box, which is sometimes info, all in Chinese, of course, about things that can happen or anything important in the town. What they did do there is in different places or areas of the town, you'll have these big, it's like boxes, notice boards, but they're closed in, and it'll be like the newspaper, but each side is then stuck in the box. So you get all these people that are standing there. They're like reading the newspaper. I suppose it's not a bad idea if saves paper and whatever. You don't need a big company to do a big newspaper. Anyway, that's something different. So so you back in the UK, Europe, you always had your daily paper. Everybody bought one, or you had it delivered. And Germany is the same thing. So when you come to the Philippines, you don't realise it, especially in the provinces. Or I didn't realise at the start. And then I'm thinking, well, one day, how do they get all their information? Because how I knew more things than the Filipinos did here. For example, my subdivision here, all the neighbours. So I follow like the electric company and the water company and a few other things from the town. There's a thing called I Love a Pilot. It's the town where I live. So I follow that then on Facebook. So you get then all these things sent to you on Facebook. What happens to all these people that haven't got internet or do not have a Facebook account? They don't get to know anything. There is no local newspaper. So I was like, I get notified about things on my cell phone. So then I forward that on to all the people here. So they know there's going to be a brownout, there's going to be a water shortage, or something's on in the town. Or I'm thinking, and they say, wow, Ian, how do you know that? I say, Facebook, they send me. You should follow them. That's a good idea. But then there's other things. Yeah, did you hear what happened in so and so town? They don't care. It doesn't. It doesn't affect their lives. What happened in a town an hour away or 2 hours away? Did you see the weather for tomorrow? No. It's going to rain. Oh, really? They don't care. Sport. They don't, they've only got basketball here, and they're only interested in their local team. There are two news channels on the TV. For example, my wife, she'll have that on, but watching then a drama series on her cell phone. So she doesn't even get half of what the news is on. And that's only then in Manila anyway. And again, the people, they don't care what's happening in Manila. They don't care what's happening in Cavite, in Laguna. They're not bothered. Because most of the time, it's not going to affect their lives here. They don't care how many people got killed in an accident unless it happened just down the road here. It's a total different way of. I know it's a little bit weird, but again, they're always as a foreigner. Like I know more what's going on than the people that live here, and I've been told, yeah, what do you do first? So the first thing I read the Chinese, or not. That's not the very first thing. The very first thing I read is the German newspaper. I lived there 27 years. So it's still just a little bit interesting for me to see still what's going on in Germany. Then I read the UK newspaper, and there are also on YouTube you have the GB News and Sky News. But sometimes they're sitting there and they're just talking to us. I just go into the website, whatever the news thing is, and I can read it through quick. Pick out the bits that for me are more interesting. So first is the German, second the UK, third then is I don't do it every time, is the Shanghai Daily, because I was there and it's sometimes interesting just to see what's happening there. And then I look into the Philippine. So the Manila Bulletin, and there's another one, a Manila one, I can't remember what it is now, and the Phil Star. So, and again, I'll read through that, and then I'll say to my wife, oh, because she has the news, I said, did you hear about that? No. Again, they're not interested. And then people say, well, why? Or it's like, the Filipinos are also not interested in what's happening internationally, abroad. What for? Is it going to change their daily lives? No. So why waste time watching it? That's what they think. So, water, guys. Cold water. So I think it'd be the same with all you American guys that now if you're only here short term, so for a couple of months and you're going back and you come again in a couple of months, then yeah, it's good to keep up with all the news. But if you're going to permanently live out here, then why would you? I mean, I've been here 5 years, but I still do it. I'm just asking you now. Why would you always read the American news? Or, for example, you guys, because America's big, right? Do you guys that live on the East Coast read what's going on the West Coast? Let me know on the in the comments. I mean, it's like British news. So if we're living in the Midlands, we don't really care what's happening up in Scotland. Let them go on with it. Again, that will not change our lives down in the Midlands, mid England. So yeah, that was quite. I mean, the town is quite. I mean, they could have. You guys in Angeles, is there a local newspaper for Angeles there? There's a few of you guys live in Angeles. Let me know. I would have thought maybe they'd have like a Pampanga news bulletin or something for our region here that gives you the. But like I said, oh, I did write. This is another thing. I did write in a comment to. It was Grumpy, I think. He'd done something about. It was like banking or something. Anyway, I wrote a comment. Many of these people here can't even read and write. And a lot of them say they did sell a newspaper. I know they do in Manila. I mean, it's like when you get on the plane, isn't it? Even the Philippine Airlines or Cebu Pacific, you'll get newspapers given you. I think so in Manila, I think John said in the 7-Elevens they sell newspapers and you'll get, but here, nothing. I see nothing. No newspapers here. What we used to do also in Europe was you take the newspaper to work, you read it in the break time. When you finish, you just give it to the next one, to the next person. But here, it's, I mean, again, especially those people that live, I call it the jungle, the other side of town, my wife's family. They know nothing that's happening in the country. Nothing. Again, they don't care. And there's a woman there. She cannot read, so it would be a waste of time then anyway. And the other thing would be these newspapers that you do get, the national ones. They're mostly in English. So for those people that maybe can read but do not understand English, and that is also quite a lot, the newspaper would be then also a waste of time. They need someone to natter in the ear. But again, it's not going to be, unless it's about the president, like big things like the Chinese, the China Sea. A lot of them know that, but local news or whatever, they have no idea. And like I said, internationally, they don't care. So yeah, I've spoken a lot of times to the neighbours here, also about America. Oh, did you hear what's happening in America now? No. Oh, really? Something for you guys to think about. So that's how the Filipinos think. The only thing that interests them is anything that's happening around their street. Anything outside, no need to know. What for? And yeah, for us expats, do we need to know what's happening back at home if we're not going to go back there in the near future? We can also get information from our families if we need it. But I still do read the papers. It also gives me something to do, and you get some good ideas for doing some videos. Also, some of them are funny. So just a thing that went through my head here while I was trying to sleep. Anyway, guys, I'll leave it at that, and I'll catch you on the next one. So from Koi Ian and my big belly. Bye. See you guys. Oh.
In the Philippines.
Yeah.
I'm gonna subscribe.
So what you have to do now, you have to say to all my people now is, hi guys.
Hi guys, welcome to my dad.
Please connect.
Please, hi guys.
Please connect to Ian living in the Philippines.
In the Philippines. Subscribe.
Like, share, and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah. Hooray.